think I took the wrong. I think I took the wrong option. I think I took the wrong option.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
System power on. Alrighty, such a weird game. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Yo. Nah, let me chill. Why are you doing?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
What about 428?
Employee number 427's job was simple.
Okay.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
Hello.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so we in here. Left, right, up, tight. Thanks. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, what's the left and right? Wait. What? Wait. This is left. I'm not stupid. All right.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Can I get a, what's that, a Coca-Cola?
No.
Nice.
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on
All right.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
First one right here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Yo, chill, bro. I'm just playing with you. Let me go back. Okay. Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop it. Okay, whatever that means. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion.
Look,
Jump!
Stanley,
Oh!
in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Look at these.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. What's in there? Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Talkless.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Right. I'm lying. Broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Oh man, a long day. I gotta get it out of me. Let
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the
Hey,
broom closet.
hey,
He wasn't even doing anything.
hey.
At least if there was something to interact
Shut.
with.
I'm not
Are
crazy.
you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Okay, fine. I got you.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
upstairs
to his boss's
office. No, I'm joking, of course. Ooh, red lights. Calming. What is this? What that say? I can't read that.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
This is creepy.
I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa!
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield. And it too was so much fun. And Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
What is going on right now?
Describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
This isn't real.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock.
This isn't real.
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too, surely. If he could just...
something chasing me. I don't like this.
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
No.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
Hello?
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons.
Hello?
Please. It's all I want.
What is
I want my apartment and my wife and my job.
Wife, you tripping.
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
You about to make me fall asleep. Uh-oh.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me
Yo.
up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real.
Guys, I think I took the wrong. I think I took the wrong option.
I must be real. I must be. Can
I think I took the wrong option.
Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
I'm sorry?
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. My brain hurts.
His office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Now what the... Executive bathroom. Go this way first, I guess.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
What?
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I think I forgot it already.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code. Amazing.
Okay.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Sorry guys, I was just checking if Capcom.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind Control. You know, maybe that doesn't mean anything. Maybe they just, you know, some kids playing with some crayons or something. You know, it ain't nothing crazy. Let's do what the voice says.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Let's see now. I gotta go over there, idiot.
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley...
What is going on? Okay, now we gotta...
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Which one am I?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never!
Right.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
What is this cinematic narration?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content.
Oh.
Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
Wait, so this dude
and as
trying
the
to help
cold
him?
reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
System power on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Whoopsie!
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself? Is that what you want?
Yes.
Control?
Control! It's all mine!
I applaud you.
It's all mine!
But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do.
What do you mean?
You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off and
All right.
leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
Like what?
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification,
What?
nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
Wait.
Not until
Wait.
detonation let's say
Hey, chill.
2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Okay.
It's your time to shine. You
Okay.
are the star. It's your story
Okay.
now. Shape
Okay,
it
let
to
me
your
get out. Let me
heart's
get out.
desires.
Come on.
This
come
is
on.
much better than what
I'm right
I had
here.
in mind.
We good.
What a shame we have so little time left to
We
enjoy
good.
it.
I got this.
You know what? To
That's
hell
it.
with
You're cooked.
I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley.
Wait a minute.
Time doesn't grow
What?
on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
2.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable
Come on,
of
come on,
turning
it's
it off?
alright.
I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you...
Yo, this dude is a villain.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy
Okay,
it
1.
first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stan.
2.
That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle.
No.
30 seconds until a big boom
No.
and then nothing. No ending here.
I won't give
Just you
in.
being blown to pieces. Will you cling
I won't give
desperately
in.
to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully?
I won't give up.
Choice. Make it
Never give up.
or don't. It's all the same to me. All
Never
part
give
of
up.
it. And believe me, I will be
Not like
loving every
this.
second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment
Not
I
like
say,
this.
happily ever up. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh my god. Yo.
And exert its terrible power over another human life.
Okay. Now what?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
What is going
Whatever
on?
life he lives,
Woo!
it will be his.
I made it out!
And that
I
was
made
all
it
he
out!
needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
What is
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation,
this?
the
Like
immense
Skyrim.
possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
That's it? That's your little trash story?
Yeah.
Alright, your dog. Alright, we're gonna go try the escape. Whoa. What?
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Wait. Wait, somebody's coming? There's no voice. Why is there no voice?
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill Surprise. Or that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Wait, what? Violent?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Oh, you're using reverse psychology on me, huh? I don't think I'm that stupid.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yeah, you think I'm stupid, don't you? I'm not stupid. I'm gonna escape. I'm going to escape. Oh. Whoa! Wait! Wait.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
I was just playing, though.
Stanley couldn't see the bigger picture.
You don't even gotta do all this.
The real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this
You don't
world is.
have to do all this. It said escape. That's all I wanted.
Like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so
Wait, how
he
do I get
resigned and willingly accepted this violent
Wait, get on!
life.
Please don't do this.
Farewell, Stanley.
Ah, really? Man. Huh?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Wait, who is this?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Wait, what?
What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance,
going on?
death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
The office.
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead
Button
from the
sounds.
moment he hit start?
Kevin McLeod. Oh my God. Guess I'll go this way. 4, 3, 1.
On intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. And finally, he...
Hmm?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another.
What?
How they both wish to be free.
Oh, I can turn it off. Yeah, you bum. Cooked.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Bars.
But listen to
Why is
me.
my
You can
controller
still
right
save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Turn off
Okay.
your PlayStation. There's no
What?
other way to beat this game.
As
What?
long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
Okay.
Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice.
But I can't.
Whatever you
I
do,
can't. Well, that was all for now, guys. If you liked that video, let me know in the comments. Hit the video with a thumbs up. Make sure to share it with your friends, and you know, if you know anything about other than what I've done in this game, or if you want me to try anything different I didn't catch on to, let me know. And yeah, I'll get back on this. Let's go for 10 likes this time. Consistency. 1K. We got this. Peace.